What's up, baseball fanatics? Are you really plugged into the hot stove? Do you consider yourself a hardcore Major League Baseball fan with the insider knowledge up to date? Because what happened in the last 48 hours wasn't just news. It was an earthquake that will redefine the league's landscape. And if you blink now, you will miss the biggest breakdown of this offseason. We are talking about general managers playing chess at the highest level, unexpected trades, devastating surgeries and contracts that can change the future of an entire franchise. The move that shocked the National League came from the South, a risky gamble, a confirmation of absolute confidence, or the quiet building of a dynasty. The South is on fire, and the smoke is billowing out of Atlanta. After months of speculation of rumors in the back channels about who would take the reins of the dugout, the Braves didn't just name a new commander. They handed him the keys to the kingdom for an entire future. 3 guaranteed years with an option for a fourth. Walt Weiss is now the skipper, and Alex Anthopoulos. The Wizard did not hesitate to give this vote of confidence straight from bench coach to the main seat. It is a brutal declaration of intent from Atlanta, which has already solidified its foundation by exercising the contract option of their powerhouse, Ozzie Albies. But is this the right move? Is this the small ball philosophy the Braves need to finally reach the top? And can Weiss manage a star-studded clubhouse the way a long-term manager would? This is the first bomb of this offseason, and the impact will be felt across the entire National League. But wait, don't take your eyes off the screen, because the next piece of news is a devastating blow. A scenario no baseball fan expected that takes one of the game's great pitchers out for at least an entire season. What exactly happened to Yu Darvish, and why are the Padres panicking? Get ready for our urgent breakdown, because the MLB just went insane, and you need to know every detail right now. Attention, world baseball fans. The white smoke has risen over Truist Park, and the Atlanta Braves finally closed their next chapter with a long-term commitment to their new field manager. The news is urgent. Walt Weiss is not just a placeholder, but the cornerstone of a new era, receiving a robust 3-year contract with an option for a 4th year from general manager Alex Anthopoulos. This is much more than just a contract. This is an unrestricted vote of confidence from the front office in someone who knows the Braves ecosystem inside and out, having served as bench coach since 2018. When he joined the organization, Weiss now takes over a club with annual World Series expectations. The transition from bench coach to head manager is not uncommon, but in this case, it signals a search for continuity and stability. The winning culture built under the previous leadership remains intact, but with the added demand of a new voice to prevent any kind of stagnation. A 3-year contract is enough to give him the necessary time to implement his philosophy of play, but in a city that demands titles. The expiration date is extremely short, anything less than a deep playoff run. Next season could raise doubts, and that is the level of pressure that comes with steering. A franchise of this caliber, Weiss's mission is clear. Maintain the team's known offensive intensity while reinforcing the commitment to technical execution on the field. Small details can make a big difference in October, and that's what AA is looking for with this internal promotion. But the news from the Braves doesn't stop there. In a move as crucial as the hiring of Weiss, Alex Anthopoulos also confirmed exercising the contract option of Ozzie Albies, an infielder who is an integral part of this team's identity. At second base, Albies is a multifaceted athlete who combines power, speed, and elite defense. Albies' contract option is notorious for being extremely club-friendly, offering exceptional value for a player who is a constant all-star. By retaining Albies, the Braves ensure their core of young stars remains intact alongside Ronald Acuna Jr. and Austin Riley. This is a clear signal that the Braves' competitive window is wide open and shows no signs of closing. The designation of pitcher Nathan Wiles for assignment is only a small end-of-season roster cleanup move, while the focus on prospect analysis, like David McCabe and Alex Lodis and catcher Chadwick Tromp, only underscores how the Braves' development structure continues to be one of the best in MLB. Those looking to the future are looking at the names in the farm system who will be the next pillars of the Major League squad, moving away from Truist Park. There have been tremors across the Major League that demand immediate analysis. The most shocking undoubtedly came from San Diego pitcher Yu Darvish, underwent internal brace surgery on his ulnar collateral ligament, the infamous UCL, and will miss the entire 2026 season. It is crucial to note that he did not undergo the full Tommy John procedure, but this internal brace surgery, while offering a faster return in some cases, still leads to this total loss of 2026 for a veteran. This is a catastrophic blow to San Diego's rotation, which is already under financial and performance pressure. The loss of Darvish for a full year forces the Padres to find a high-end replacement in free agency or through trades, and this could come at an exorbitant price. Considering the existing payroll commitments, the Padres' competitive window, which was already closing now, has a huge hole in its pitching rotation. In other key news, the Toronto Blue Jays breathe a sigh of relief. Shane Bieber, a top pitcher, exercised his $16 million player option, remaining in the Jays' rotation. This offers urgently needed stability at the heart of the American League East. The value is reasonable for a former Cy Young winner, and Bieber will have a chance to rebuild his market value. After a few years of injuries or subpar performance, the American League scene is also marked by loyalty and security. Salvador Perez, the Kansas City Royals icon, agreed to a 2-year $25 million contract extension. This includes bonuses and designated hitter indications. This is a smart move to retain a veteran leader on the team, ensuring his presence as DH as he ages, while his primary position as catcher becomes more difficult for him. Meanwhile, in Boston, Trevor Story, the shortstop, declined his opt-out clause and will remain with the Red Sox. This is a vote of confidence in his contract security, since his recent history of injuries and inconsistent production would have likely prevented him from getting a similarly valued deal on the open market. Now the Boston Red Sox need him to make a full recovery and live up to the high expectations of such a substantial contract. Finally, the New York Mets began their off-season by doing what they do best: buying depth. The club acquired right-handed pitcher Joey Gerber from the Tampa Bay Rays in exchange for cash considerations. This is a typical move for an organization that is willing to spend to collect young bullpen talent with high potential, the Rays always selling their minor pieces for cash value, and the Mets are always willing to take a risk on talent. Gerber is another relief pitcher who will try to prove his worth under Steve Cohen's command. MLB is in full swing. The off-season is accelerating, and every move has dramatic implications for 2026 and beyond. Stay tuned. Now we need to shift focus from the leadership to the field, where the Atlanta Braves have made strategic moves that further solidify their talent core, a hallmark of Alex Anthopoulos' philosophy. The most urgent news after the Walt Weiss announcement was the decision to exercise the contract option for second baseman Ozzie Albies. This is not just a contractual move, it's a declaration of intent and an addition. Of spectacular long-term value, Albies is one of the most undervalued players in the league in terms of compensation versus production. His contract, which was historically already a steal for the Braves, ensures that this dynamic second baseman with power, speed, and gold glove defense remains a central piece of the infield for more years, perhaps until the end of this decade. Albies' market value is exploding, and having his salary fixed at this point is a financial masterstroke that allows the Braves to aggressively allocate capital in other areas of the roster, such as the elite bullpen or the starting rotation. This contractual stability of their stars is what sets Atlanta apart from many other large markets. On a smaller but important note for roster management, the designation for assignment of pitcher. Nathan Wiles signals the constant rotation of talent at the deeper levels of the organization, opening up space on the 40-man roster for possible Rule 5 acquisitions or off-season trades. This forward-thinking vision by the Braves continues with prospect analysis. The off-season is the time to dive into the depth and the focus on catcher. Chadwick Tromp suggests a careful analysis of reserve catcher options, a position always critical for pitcher management. The mention of David McCabe and Alex Lodis, both infielders, points to the constant replenishment of the internal pipeline, McCabe known for his power and hitting ability, and Lodis, often a contact hitter and solid defender, represent the future, ensuring that the Braves' cycle of success depends not only on acquired talent, but also on consistent internal development. Turning to the league as a whole, high-impact contractual decisions are shaping the off-season landscape. Shane Bieber, the Cy Young right-handed pitcher, decided to exercise his $16 million player option, keeping him in the Toronto Blue Jays. This is monumental news for Toronto. Instead of losing a potential ace to the free agent market, they retain a cornerstone piece of their rotation. For the Blue Jays, this consolidates one of the most intimidating pitching staffs in the American League, but it also means that $16 million is off the table for pursuing big bats. Bieber's decision directly impacts the team's budgeting strategy, likely limiting their pursuit of a big name in the infield or outfield. In the Midwest, the Kansas City Royals cemented the loyalty of a legend. Salvador Perez, the venerable catcher and soul of the franchise, signed a 2-year $25 million contract extension. This deal is not based solely on advanced metrics. It is a reward for leadership, emotional value to the fan base, and clubhouse presence. While Perez can still contribute offensively with his power, the extension signals the Royals' commitment to keeping a key figure during their rebuild and the transition to a new era of young talent. The details, such as designated hitter indications and signing bonuses, only underscore the organization's respect for their veteran Innie. The competitive Boston market Trevor Story made the crucial decision to decline his opt-out clause, choosing to remain with the Boston Red Sox. After seasons marked by injuries and offensive inconsistency, especially compared to his peak in Denver, Story's decision demonstrates a commitment to the team's future and perhaps a gamble on a full recovery of his physical form and performance. He solidifies the shortstop position for the Red Sox, who can now focus their off-season efforts on reinforcing the outfield and the mound. But the darkest and most impactful news for 2026 comes from California. Yu Darvish, the San Diego Padres pitcher, underwent surgery on his ulnar collateral ligament, UCL, and is out for the entire 2026 season. It is crucial to note that he did not undergo the full Tommy John surgery, but rather an internal brace procedure. The internal brace offers a faster recovery timeline, often allowing pitchers to return in 9 to 12 months, compared to the 12 to 18 months for Tommy John. However, even with the accelerated schedule, losing Darvish for a full year is a devastating blow to the Padres' already unstable rotation. This throws San Diego into a state of crisis in starting pitching for the next year, forcing management to urgently search for depth and a mid to high-level pitcher in the free agent market to fill the huge hole left by one of their most experienced pitchers. To finalize the minor transactions, the New York Mets made their first move of the offseason, acquiring right-handed pitcher Joey Gerber from the Tampa Bay Rays in exchange for cash considerations. This is the classic Rays move of trading bullpen pieces for capital, and for the Mets, it represents a low-risk acquisition to add depth to the bullpen. Adding new and potentially quality arms, even if they are depth arms, is essential for any franchise aiming for a long season. Finally, the Miami Marlins bolstered their hitting development staff with the hiring of Chris Hess and Corbin Day as assistant hitting coaches. The Marlins, historically a team with offensive struggles, signal a serious investment in improving their approach at the plate. Such coaching hires, although not headline news, are often the backbone of young player development and can be the catalyst for sustained offensive improvement over time. The MLB chessboard is moving, and each of these decisions, from an injured pitcher to a legend's contract, will define the league's landscape in 2026. The offseason is brutal. The free agency market is boiling, and every move on the baseball board can redefine the path to the World Series. The window of opportunity closes fast, and the pressure on general managers is immense. This is MLB's decisive moment, and there is no time to hesitate. It is crucial that you, our loyal baseball fans, stay on top of every pitch and every trade. So subscribe now and hit the notification bell to receive all the urgent breaking news. Let us know your opinion in the comments. Who will be the next great Cy Young winner, or who will be the MVP of this offseason? Thanks for tuning in, diehard baseball fan.